Before the revolution, there are almost 60,000 Cuban Chinese people. So let's go to Barrio Chino, okay? The Chinese neighborhood that's here. Definitely a relic of what it used to be, but let's check it out.
Contar la historia de mi vida con mis fallos y mis errores porque hay rosas y hay espinas para hablar. Momentos lindos.
The Chinese initially came to Cuba as indentured workers, supplementing the worker population on the plantations. They worked alongside enslaved Africans and in many cases mixed with them. Subsequent waves had better opportunities, including working in the railroad industry. Despite being in a challenging situation today, Cuba was once the envy of the Caribbean, the most modern developed nation in the Caribbean. Cuba's rail system was a shining example of that modernity. And then the Chinese population picked up and left Cuba after the revolution. Many took the 45-minute flight north to Miami. As Cuban Americans with residency, some decided to break off to Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory, just in case you didn't know. Some of the first Chinese restaurants on Puerto Rico came from these Cuban migrants, these Chinese Cuban migrants, and they again blended into the population and became super Puerto Rican. Staying close to urban areas, Chino Puerto Ricans are doing their thing. Although many are fading out of business, traditionally in my home city of New York, you had plenty of Chinese Cuban eateries, serving up a fusion of cultures in a plate. But still to this day, you can catch the descendants of those Chinese Cubans still floating around Havana. Honestly, it's a shame. It's like what happened to Little Italy in the United States in New York. Okay, the neighborhood got swallowed by something else. Here, the neighborhood got swallowed by Cuba, okay, which is normal. Let's go see it. Calle Cuchillo is pretty much all that's left, ethnically speaking, of the Chinese experience here in Havana. The ratings here are pretty rough, but a good brother put me on to a spot that's solid. So for those of you that have watched the channel long enough, you know that I have a hot sauce problem. I love the hottest of the hot. I've even gone to a hot sauce festival. My Jamaican roots and extremist nature is a bad mix. Here in Cuba, spice isn't really their thing. Buffalo sauce will throw them off. Here at this spot, they have the hottest hot sauce that I've experienced in a little while. It's a mysterious black sauce. Lord knows what they put in it. I didn't mean that in a derogatory sense, just to be clear. Just out of a place of curiosity. For those of you looking for a reliable spot where you can eat at, something that's good, rather inexpensive, pull up to Chinatown and enjoy yourself. Maybe take your little Havana thing with you. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Here in Cuba, the food can be a little bit suspect. Okay, here in the last spot, or the second to last spot, before you reach the end in Chinatown, it's pretty good. Okay, it's pretty good. You get decent Chinese food. Can't beat it. So let's talk about how much we spend here. So we actually have 2 plates of fried rice, one to go for our brother Mr. Jefferson. Then we have a cerveza, right, little cristal, government beer. Price of service, the equivalent is actually $9.20 or so USD. If you pay with USD or euros, then you're gonna spend a little bit over $11. make sure you go ahead and you exchange your USD or euros into local currency, and you do it on the black market. Cuba isn't interested in Canadian currency. It's something they already have access to. So this meal in Canadian currency would be 40 bucks. Feel bad for my Canadian brothers. They have to bring USD when they come to town. Now let's go get this plate to our bruv, Mr. Jefferson. Vamos. After the revolution, the Castro regime did everything that they could to stamp out the memories of the red light industry that dominated these streets. Had Fidel have lost and not succeeded in his revolution, there's no doubt in my mind what Havana would be. It would be Tijuana, with danger, drugs, arms, and Chinatown with its Shanghai club, cabarets, and casinos would have been ground zero for this sleazy development. Man, the people love sleazy. And in the current day, Havana is showing evidence of sliding back to its roots. Despite how spooky it looks, Havana is a safe place. Just guard your cell phone.
Comida china, ¿ok?
China.
Comida china.
Yo quiero comida de Nueva York.
No vaya aquí, vaya aquí. No.
As a foreigner, you have so much access that a local doesn't. And it's part of the guilt that comes into this Cuba experience. One of these days, I'll smuggle Mr. Jefferson a cheeseburger. A McDonald's cheeseburger from Panama or from Miami. So in recent years, the Chinese government has re-engaged Cuba. Chinese tourists are now flocking to the streets of Havana, joining their communist brethren. Although it exists here, you're not seeing an explosion of cheap Chinese goods on the streets of Havana. It's more of a trickle, which leads to reselling and inflation. There is no Amazon here, okay? Everything you have to buy in the streets, or in the WhatsApp groups, or in the Facebook groups. I want you guys to remember that Cuba is way more than its problems. It has a beautiful history, a beautiful people, and I want you all to see it. Thank you so much for watching this one. Peace out.